Good morning, children. Welcome to the online classes for the 8th standard, 8th period. In this last class, in the 7th standard, 7th period, we have studied the point related to the ancient civilization of India. So, in the ancient civilization of India, we have continued the points related to the Rig Veda that we have learned in the last class. But now in this class, after the Rig Veda, it means after the 1000 BCE, the next era, we are going to find that to be called as the post Rig Veda period. Post Rig Veda means after the Rig Veda. So again we are going to see the Vedas has continued after the Rig Veda period. The period has continued. So what kind of new Vedas or new names arise in the period of 1000 to the 1500 is to be considered as the which period? Post Rig Veda period. So in this post Rig Veda period, we are going to see the development of new Vedas, the development of new Vedas started by the name Samaveda, Ajurveda and the Atharva Veda. So you know that earlier we have studied about the Rig Veda. In the Rig Veda, we are finding the people belongs to this period have followed some agnas. They have done the agas, and in this agas, they are going to give some prayers and the songs related to that period. But in this period, we are finding the three different points or the activities arise after the 1000 BC. That will be considered as the Samaveda, Ajurveda and the Atharveda according to the some activity. So these three continuous Vedas are named after the priest who conduct the three different types of agnas. So earlier we are finding only the one agna, and there we are finding the slogans and the songs were sung. So next one rise, that is Saman. It is going to be called as the Udgatri. Or here this Udgatri means he is the singer. And name is given to this person is Saman. Udgatri. And next one is the Atharvyu. Atharyu, the one who recites Yajus Sutras. So he is going to tell some sutras related to the agnas. That person is going to call as the Atharyu. And the last person is Atharvan. Atharvan. He is to be going to call as the who is giving the Agni or priest of Agni. You know that Agna time. So when we are doing the Agnas, we know the Agna, how the earlier ancient people are going to follow. So in this, they are going to burn and doing prayer towards the God. So here the four people we are going to see around this agnas. So one person is going to sing the song, and another person who is going to follow some mantras or the sutras, and one person who is going to give the Agni, it means the fire. So that type of, first one Rigveda, only the prayer and songs we are finding, but after that Samaveda, Sama means Samana, or you are going to call as the Uttargati, or it is going to call as the singer. Then Ajurveda, Ajur means this person is going to call as the Adharyu. Adharyu who is going to do Ajus. Ajus means telling some sutras. And next one is the Atharva Veda, that is Atharvan, who is going to give the Agni. So the four people we are going to see. toward this Agnas. This system was going to fall out in the country in the period of ancient side. By this way, they have civilized. Now, you can come to the points detail. What is Samaveda? What is Ajurveda? What is Atharvaveda? What they are doing in the Samaveda? What they are doing in the Ajurveda? And what they are doing in the Atharva Veda. Now come to the point of one, that is Samaveda. Samaveda means this Samaveda has taken much from the Rigveda and with a few alternations. In the Rigveda period we are finding the people are going to pray in the song. In the same way, they have taken the songs in the Samaveda. So, just they have made some alternative changes in these songs. That is called as the Samaveda. And they borrowed some content, some other points. They mainly consisted of the slokans, mantras that are recited at that time of Agnas in the type of songs. Next point is Ajurveda. So what is Ajurveda? Ajurveda is nothing but it has the two types. One text is called as the black and another text is called as the white. Black means Krishna, white means Shukla. Black means Krishna, white means Shukla. In the black Ajurveda, we are going to see there are explanations about the way of reciting the mantras. So in the black, what they are doing? They are giving the ideas about the explanations of these sutras and the mantras. And come toward the white side, there we are finding this Ajurveda, the mantras, but no explanations. And even in the Ajurveda, in the blacks, it means black is considered as the explanation regarding mantras. And in white, no explanation, no explanations. So this is the way followed in the Ajurveda. So there are two types. One is black and the white. Black is called as the Krishna and white is called as the Shukla. Hence, there was also we are going to see the commentary in this explanation and discussions are going in the white, blacks. So this is the system followed and in this period there is no any references related to they are going to use the iron in this period because hence we can conclude that the Veda is not before the 1000 BCE. So because there was no use of, there was the reference in this, the iron in this period. There is a reference to the iron in this. So before 1000 BC we are not finding any kind of iron, but in this Agnas we have seen the use of iron. So it is considered as this period is going to called as after 1000 BC. It means after in between the 1500 BCE. Now last point is the Atharva Veda. Atharva Veda is similar to the Rig Veda in this side content. It has taken much from the 10th mandala. We studied already. There are 3 mandalas in the Rig Veda. 10 mandalas in the Rig Veda period. And from these 10 mandalas, it was the 1 point taken for the Atharva Veda. That is the 10th mandala of Rig Veda is to be called as the what? Atharva Veda. It is not a prose form. It has used to language of or the Brahmanas rather than the ancient languages. So earlier we are finding the language was used not only related to the Brahmins but was related to the other languages also. But now only the Brahmin language was started to use in this period. In which period? Atharva period. That is called as the Atharva Veda. It means the dominance of the Brahmins was came in the period of Atharva Veda, and the only language known by these people only. Now, the geographical details gives us idea. In this Veda are the different of the found in the Rig Veda period. So these three Vedas are totally different from this Rig Veda period, and this shows that the Aryans who belongs to India had moved to the east by that time. It means there was no presence of Aryans. Now from the west to they were living earlier in the Sindh region. So these Aryans may be moved toward the which side? They have moved toward the eastern part of India, because earlier they were living in this area. Now these Aryans have moved in the period of 1500 BC. So that's why this is considered as the post-Rig Veda period. Now we have got the idea related to the what is the meaning of post-Rig Veda. Post-Rig Veda means after Rig Veda, which are the Veda came, those Vedas are considered as the post-Rig Vedas. One is the Samaveda, Yajurveda and the Atharva Veda. And these write after the 1000 BC. Now come to the point, to the next. So how was the social system followed in the period of this post-Rig Veda period? So the next system was called as the social system. So in the period of post-Rig Veda period, this social system was divided into the 4 divisions. Now earlier in the Rig Veda period, we don't have the divisions. Divisions were there, but everyone is getting other 3 groups. You know that 3 groups were getting more importance and 1 group is not getting the importance. That we have seen aristocrats like this were Shudras, Brahmanas, so and the priestly class. So that was a different division, but in the Rig Veda, this post Rig Veda period, we are going to see there was society was divided into 4 groups. One is the Brahmanas, second one is the Kshatriyas, third one is the Vaishyas, and fourth one is the Shudras. So this society was divided into 4 groups. So we are going to understand one by one who are going to be called as the Brahmanas, who are going to be called as the Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, Shudras, according to their work. Now, that they are the last part of Rig Veda and the part of Purusha Sukta. So already we have studied in the last period. You know the meaning of Purusha Sukta. In that Purusha Sukta, we have seen according to the parts of the human being, the human beings were divided into different categories. So Brahmanas are going to called as the mouth, Kshatriyas are going to be called as the shoulders, and Vaishyas are going to be called as the thighs, and Shudras are going to called as the feet of the God. So in the same way, there was some changes we are going to see in this period. Earlier the names Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas were not given to his bodies. The different names were given. Now it was the later changes we are finding in these people. So you know that the Brahmanas who are having the equal power in the Rig Veda, now these Brahmanas become very powerful in this period. These Brahmins become powerful. They were only having the highest power in this period, and they are going to accept the gifts conducting by the yagas and some other rituals related to that religion. In owning the lands, receiving the cows, offering the puja, in matters related to the god, Brahmins had gained a more prominent position while taking all benefits from doing the yagas. So every gift was going toward the Brahmanas in the period of post-Rigveda social system. No power to the other three categories. But what is the main role of the next one, that is Kshatriya? So here Rajana indicates, the name Rajana indicates what? Rajana indicates the Kshatriya. Why this belongs to the Kshatriya Varna? Why this person is going to be called as the Raj Anya? Those who had. Why this person is called as the Rajana? Because those who had the political power called as the Kshatriya. These people having only the politic power. You can take the example of king. King is only ruling for the kingdom, but Brahmins are giving the agnas. That was the main change we are going to see among the Kshatriyas and the Brahmins. So these people have started to get the political power, and these are going to call as the Rajanas. Now, the origin of Rajanas, who were earlier the soldiers. These people are going to be called as the soldiers who got training in the archery. These people got the training in the archery, and they could wage the war in any chariots. So, gain a lot of importance after the Brahmanas. So, Kshatriyas become the second importance. The word Vaishyas comes in the third group or the third category. These found, and there they were supposed to offer the gifts to the others. So these people are going to give the gifts to the Brahmins. It means these people are going to offer the gifts to the higher caste people. Now, they could have been subjected to exploitation, one's whims and fancies. So what is the work of these Vaishyas? They are going to exploit the situation of the kings, or the problems between the Brahmins and the Kshatriyas, the problems between the Shudras and the Kshatriyas. So totally the work of these people is doing the business or exploiting the whims of the people or the aims of the people. They neither had the right to perform the agnas, or they neither right to enter the place of agna. Who? These Vaishyas. So earlier the Vaishyas are not going toward the agnas. Only the agnas are doing by the Rajanas. And the agnas are performing by the Brahmins. That was the system followed in this post-Rigveda period in the social system. They were placed lower than the first two varnas. From Brahmins and the Kshatriyas, they kept in the third position and still remained as the Aryans. So, again, these Vaishyas are belongs to the which category? They are to be called as the Aryans. So, the last category we are going to see, that was also the last in the Rigveda period, that is Shudras. Now, Shudras were the part of Varna system that we have seen, but they were kept at the lower and end of this part. But Dasus and the Dasas were kept outside the Varna system. You know the Dasas and the Dasus who are from the tribal area. These people have kept outside this Varna system slowly, and they were integrated to the which group? They are integrated toward the Sudra Varnas. Though the Sudras were accepted the part of Varna system, they were not given any rights. These three people having some rights. First one having the more right, second one is having some different right, third one is having some rights, but there is no right for the Shudra, that is the fourth category. And though the Shudras were accepted as a part of Varna system, they were not given any rights. They could have thrown out or killed at any time. And Shudras were not allowed. They are not allowed to perform any type of agnas or any type of pujas. It was held that the sacred Guru, he is going to be called as the sacred Guru, not only should disown the Shudras, he even should not see a Shudra. So what kind of conditions followed with the Sudras in this period? He don't have any rights. As a human being, he don't have any rights, and they have followed some hard punishment regarding the Sudras by the other three classes. So, sometimes the Sudras could have come from the tribes like Dasus and the Dasas, and others, or some of the people came from the early by collecting the food from one place to the another place. So tribes like names Nishada and the Chandalas were grouped as the untouchables, who cannot be touched to these three groups. That type of untouchables are considered as the Shudras, and those were called as the Chandala and the Nishada family. So, this is the system followed in the social system, but even the women were also having the lowest position in the society in the period of post-Rigveda. And there is a social hierarchy we are going to see in this period. Women are considered as the embodiment. They are considered as the embodiment and lies. So these people are, the women are not considered for the outside work. They are only the embodiment. They can do work in the house itself, and they are going to be called as the lie. There is a reference to the dowry system in the period of Rigveda. There was in this Atharva Veda. It means the Veda time we are finding the system was followed, that is the dowry system, and there was a proper benefit for the women for work. There was no practice of child marriages. Polygamy was prevalent among the rich and the powerful. So there was a differentiate we are finding in the rich and the poor, and the widow could remarry in the period of post-Rigveda period. So this is the social system followed in the period of which the post-Rigveda period. So the next point we are going to see, after the social system, we are going to see what was the economic system followed in the period of the post-Rigveda period. That we are going to see. So the economic system of this period, that is the post-Rigveda period, was different, and the people belongs to this period was also following the agriculture. Agriculture was the economic source for these Aryans, or the people belongs to the post-Rigveda period. So that time in the post Rigveda period, the Aryans who are living in the Sindh region, they have started to move towards the eastern part of India. You know that the river Ganga and Yamuna we are going to see in the eastern part of India. Earlier they are living in this area, but later in the post Rigveda period they have started to migrate from Sindh region to the Ganga side. You know the here we are finding the Ganga and the Yamuna rivers. These are the two rivers we are going to see, and here we are going to see the Sindh or the Satluj river. So that time they are finding the source of water availability and developing the crops. So in this post-Rigveda period, we are going to see the people have migrated from the Sindh to the Ganga river area, for they had destroyed the forest. And that time, how they are going to make the agriculture land? By destroying the forest, they are making it is for fertile land. So with the help of fire, they are going to burn the forest, and they burned the forest and cleared the land for the agriculture, and in the process, these tribes reached the plains of Uttar Pradesh, that to the point of Ganga river and the Yamuna river. Actually, first they have reached to the point of Ganga river, which is present we are finding in the Uttar Pradesh. The scarcity of water in the Doab region of Satluj, you know now here the finding scarcity means the shortage. Due to the shortage of water, they are finding in the Satluj river where they are living earlier. Now they have started to migrate towards the river Ganga. Plains and iron axes were used to chop the trees in this period, and there is the reference we are going to see the 6 and the 8 oxen driven plow in the Atharva Veda. 12 oxen drive plow is also referred in the Ajurveda period. This proves that the uses of oxen is very important in the agriculture to get the increment or to develop the agriculture crops in the period of which the post Rigveda period. So that we are going to find. So now in this period I want to stop the topic related to the economic system, and later I will continue this topic in the next period, in the 9th period for you. So I will continue in the next period. Thank you.